I tell a lot of people if I would have had a weapon in the house and I didn't just take some pills, I probably wouldn't be here in front of you. This stigma, this thought that if you have PTSD, you're weak. If you have issues, you're weak. You know, and that's what is killing our truth. And I got to wake up. I got to finally wake up and see a whole new world that I didn't see everywhere. Because this is an epidemic that we're going through right now, and I was almost part of those members. Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the WYSH Webcast. This is our first episode, and we will have a different set for the second episode, but I wanted to go ahead and get this started because I feel like if I wait any longer, bad things will happen to more people. Today is going to be a pretty intense episode, but today I want to show you what it's like for the soldiers and their family members, and what it's like for the suicide statistics right now in the military. So right now, I'm not sure if everybody knows, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyways. There are 22 veterans and 1 active duty soldier taking their own life every day. I'm going to start this episode off by telling you a little more about me and what I do. My name is Andrew O'Brien. I am an Iraq War veteran, and I was born and raised in Texas, but most importantly, I am a suicide survivor from PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. I was deployed to Iraq from 2008 to 2009. During my deployment, I was the lead truck gunner of all convoys, and I had experienced a few bad situations while out in Iraq. Coming home, I ended up experiencing a lot of nightmares and paranoia, and I just couldn't feel like I could keep a relationship going. I couldn't build a relationship back with my family. I just wasn't the same person that I was the day that, or before I deployed. So now, that night I tried to take my own life, and now what I do is I tell this story. I go around the country and I tell this story to rooms full of people. Last weekend I just came back from Schofield Barracks in Hawaii, where I told my suicide story to over 500 uniformed soldiers. And I am not embarrassed by it. You know why? Because by me not being embarrassed by it and sharing my suicide attempt, I am helping other people, other servicemen and women, understand that it's okay to be affected by the war. It is war, and it comes with being in war. Whenever I was out there, it was amazing the comments that I received from other soldiers. I got a lot of positive feedback, and they really seemed to really enjoy what I was talking about and connect with me on that intimate level. It's hard to talk about what I talk about, but it needs to be. I'm not embarrassed by what I've experienced or what I've done, and I feel like what I did has led me to this path of what I do today, and that is preventing military suicides. What I am doing is I am starting a movement. I am the first veteran of many more to come who is admitted to trying to take his own life and has gone public about it and told his story to help save others. I have told my story many ways in many different communities, mainly veteran communities and military bases. And what I want is I'm making this webcast so that you, the audience, can ask me any question that you wish, and I will answer them. Every question that I am asked through email stays anonymous. I will not read names. I will only read locations and the question, and I will answer them. In every episode, I will also be sharing stories of other veterans or family members. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that for now, and I want to introduce you to the next part of this segment. This lady has become very brave, and she has decided to share her story for this webcast and explain what it's like to lose her daughter to suicide. So please watch, and bear with me that the video is not the best quality, but the words mean everything. So please listen, and I will be back to you after the video. Thank you.
My name is Gail Rush. My daughter, Staff Sergeant Courtney Rush, U.S. Air Force, died on January 3rd, 2012 from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. It was without a doubt the worst day of my life. I missed her smile. I missed her laugh. I missed her temper. How did it happen? We'll never know. She told me she was her best friend. I don't know why she couldn't call. I guess she just didn't feel comfortable. She had been on 2 deployments, one to Kuwait and one to Qatar. On her deployment in Qatar, she did what she called HR missions, where they transferred bodies off of the airplanes to other airplanes or things like that. And I know that that bothered her. She felt honored, but she cried. I don't know. I wish I did. You know, they train them to go to their deployments. I don't know why they can't train them to come home and to let them know that it's okay to get help. I can't breathe sometimes. I wish I could talk to her. I couldn't understand for the longest time how life could go on for other people. But it did. It seemed to stand still for me. I go to the cemetery sometimes just to look to make sure it really happened. I can't breathe there either. She should have called. I hope that this short video can help one person know that it's okay to call anybody. Oh, for crying out loud, call me. I'm sad. I'm heartbroken. I always will be. She was beautiful, successful, stubborn. She had the world at her fingertips. I just don't think she knew it. And although I know that she's fine now, I feel like I have a life sentence of questions and sadness. Please make a phone call.
I'm going to come from this video and I'm going to read you a letter that I had received from another veteran. And I think that this is going to really touch a lot of people's hearts, especially after this video. For over a year, I would take my handgun every night, remove the clip, and count the bullets. And for every bullet, I tried to find a reason to live. And if I couldn't find one, it went back into the clip. There were days I could barely come up with one reason, and I would stare into the barrel of that gun and wonder if God would forgive me for wanting to stop the nightmares and the pain. Now I'm going to skip to the end of this email, and I'm going to show you what this person has told me. Thank you for the courage to tell your story. It may well be one of the few things in this world that saved my life. Now there's a reason I wanted to read this specific fan mail after that video. It's because this lady lost her daughter. She found out that her daughter had shot herself. Okay, this is serious. This is something that families should not have to go through. And this part of the message is towards those veterans and soldiers out there. To all the men and women service, to all the servicemen and women out there, the ones that are defending our country, the war doesn't stop at the end of that country line. Once you leave Iraq or Afghanistan, it doesn't mean the war is over. It continues back home. And you can make a difference, just like I am. By being the vulnerable one, by being the open one, by admitting to everybody and not being embarrassed by saying, I have a problem, I have nightmares, I have paranoia, I experience all these things from the war. By doing that, you are opening the door to so many more people. By showing that you're not showing weakness, you are showing strength. You can make a difference. And to civilians, the ones who don't have a military experience, but they want to help. You can help. You can do something about this. With your support, you can stop these veterans from making these decisions as well. And, the biggest question, I'll read the question now that someone asked me to answer on this webcast. And the question says, Andrew, I'm a civilian with no ties to the military, but I am very pro-troops and very patriotic. I live in Austin, and I was just wondering what I could do, either locally or nationally, to support these veterans and make a difference and to stop these suicides. Now, this question is one of my favorite questions because that means that what I'm saying and what I'm doing, it's affecting people, and you are wanting to get up out of that chair and make a difference. And to all of you that are feeling that way right now, I applaud you. You are the ones that make us feel better about being veterans. Now, the one thing that I'm going to tell you that really helps, and I have interviewed veterans across the country during my speaking tour and while making a documentary, and the thing that helps the most is just someone to listen. We just want you to listen. And, every time I've talked to a civilian, they tell me, well, I've never been there, haven't done it. That doesn't matter. The thing is that everybody wants to give advice, and that is completely understandable. It makes sense. Everybody wants to help, right? Well, the best way to help is not to give advice, but just listen. Listen intently. Don't look at your watch. Don't get distracted and look in other places. Listen. Look in the soldier or veteran's eyes and listen to the stories that they want to share with you. And take that as a privilege. If they want to sit there and share their most intense stories that have the most effect on them, that's a big deal. That means they really trust you. And you need to keep that trust. And in order to do that, you just have to listen. So I hope that everybody got out of this episode the reality of what we're facing today. Now, a lot of people have asked me, how do I do what I do? It sounds depressing. It is not depressing. Let me explain something to you. Just because I tried to take my own life once doesn't mean I'm doing it again. I have changed my life completely around. I have done a 180, and I am now facing the other direction. And you know what? I am so proud of myself, and I know other people are too. And I am proud of any veteran or soldier who sees this video and stands up and says, I have PTSD, I have nightmares, and I am okay with it. It doesn't mean that you have to be okay with the nightmares. It means you have to be okay with having feelings towards what you experienced. That's courage and that's bravery. And to you civilians watching this and taking a step forward and helping us with this project, you are the ones who are making a difference as well. You are the ones standing up and being brave. So you are brave and courageous as well. Thank you for watching this episode. And the next episode will be next Thursday. A new episode every Thursday. This is part 1 of a mother of a suicide victim. And we will continue this for the next couple of episodes. And I really want people to see what it's like from the inside for these family members that lose their veterans to suicide. Thank you for tuning in, and we will be seeing you next Thursday. I appreciate it.